بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين محمد المصطفى وعلى آله ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وما بعد. In this lesson we would study الضمائر pronouns. The singular is الضمير. الضمير. The plural is الضمائر. So all of the ضمائر are ma'rifa, they are definite. And remember, this is a sub-lesson under lesson number 3. This is the second category of words that are ma'rifa, that are definite. All pronouns are definite. When you say he came, you are indicating or you are speaking about someone who is understood. So normally, whenever we have a pronoun in the Arabic language, we would always look for what we call marji'u dhamir, the reference, of the pronoun. Who is the pronoun referring to? And there is a rule that says الضمير يرجع إلى أقرب مذكور, that the pronoun it references the nearest thing that was mentioned, or the last thing that was mentioned, of course, that it is applicable to. Pronouns are of two kinds, what we call الضمائر المنفصلة, the disconnected or separate pronoun, or الضمائر المتصلة, the connected pronouns. And there are more details about this, but I will just share this with you here and give you a few examples in the Quran, inshallah, for this lesson. So I have here a chart in front of me, and the chart has 4 columns and 2 sections. الضمائر المنفصلة is one section, الضمائر المتصلة is the second section, and each of them has 4 columns. The rightmost column says the gender and the person. So we have masculine third person, feminine third person, masculine second person, feminine second person, and masculine and feminine first person, because the pronouns are the same for the first person in masculine and feminine. So the original form of these pronouns, disconnected and munfasilatu, in a state of rafa when they are marfu', are huwa, meaning he, and then the second column has singular, the third dual, and the fourth plural. So we have singular, dual, plural, and then let's go through them. Huwa, he, hiya, she, anta, you, singular masculine, that's if you're speaking to a single male, anti, if you speak into a single female, ana, I, and this is the same whether a male or a female is speaking. Dual for huwa is huma, and the plural is hum. Dual for hiya, she, is huma, and the plural is hunna. And all 4 of them, huma, hum, and hunna, means they in English. So we use the pronoun they. Note that dual for masculine and feminine is the same in third person. Masculine and feminine, huma and huma. So whether we're speaking about 2 male or 2 female, or a male and a female, we would use the pronoun huma. Anta, dual is antuma, plural is antum. Anti, dual is antuma, and plural is antunna. Antuma, antum, antunna means you, and you in English. But of course we have 3 variations here. We have antuma, antum, antuma, antunna. Antuma is the same for male and female in second person. So whether you're speaking to 2 males or 2 females, or a male and a female, you will say antuma, addressing them. As for first person, dual and plural is the same, and male and female is the same. So we say nahnu, and that means if two two male are speaking, or a group of male, or two female, or a group of female, or one male and one female, or a group of male and females mixed, we will say نحن in all four cases for the first person. So these are the الضمائر المنفصلة in the state of رفع, the independent or separate pronouns in a state of رفع. الضمائر المتصلة, the connected pronouns, would be his. For example, كتابه, his book, who, two, هما, plural, hum. كتابها, ha is her. هما, كتابهما, their book. كتابهن, their book. Ha, huma, hunna. Those are all third person. Second person, كتابك, كتابكما, كتابكم, كتابك, كتابكما, كتابكن. And you will notice that both masculine and feminine dual in third person are the same, huma, and masculine and feminine third person, second person dual are the same also. If I were to say my, I would say kitabi, and I would use the ya with a sukun. And if I say our book, I say kitabuna, kitabuna for dual and plural. Kitabi means my book, but when it's used in the objective form, we say, for example, if I were to say he hit me, ضربني, ضربني, and instead of saying ضربي, ضرب mean he hit, ضربني, he hit me, we put an extra noon here between the verb ضرب and the ياء الضمير المتكلم, the object of the action. This noon here is called noon al-wiqaya, the protective noon, or the noon used for protection, because what it's doing, it's protecting the verb from having a kasra at the ending. So if we had not put that noon, we would say darabi, and then the ba would have a kasra. Excuse me, and that's not acceptable in the Arabic language. So we say darabani, and we put the kasra on the noon. If we did not put that noon there and we kept the fatha on the ba, we would say darabai, and that's difficult in the Arabic language to pronounce ya with sukun after a fatha. Hence, because it's so plentiful, that noon is put there, so the noon carries the kasra instead of the last letter of the verb. And this briefly are the pronouns الضمائر المنفصلة and الضمائر المتصلة. And all of these pronouns are ma'rifa. They are all definite. They're speaking about definite people or things. These are a few verses of Quran with pronouns within them. I'll just read the verses and translate them inshallah and highlight the pronouns. The pronouns are all highlighted in blue. فقال لصاحبه وهو يحاوره أنا أكثر منك مالا وأعز نفرا. And he said to his associate while he was disputing with him or arguing with him, dialoguing with him, I have more wealth and more honorable children than you, or more children than you. He said to his associate, صاحبه, وهو, and he, the pronoun he, يحاوره, he is dialoguing with him, أنا, I, أكثر منك, have more than you. So these were all pronouns used there. إن ترني أنا أقل منك مالا وولدا فعسى ربي أن يؤتيني خيرا من جنتك ويرسل. If you see me if you see that I have less than you in wealth and children. Uh, these verses, by the way, are in Surah Al-Kahf, talking about the story of two men. One of them had two gardens and the other one didn't, and the one with the two gardens were boasting. So this is the other one responding to him. So this was the speech of the first one, and this is the response of the second. In tarani ana aqalla minka, if you see me, I have less than you. So ana, I. Wealth and children. فَعَسَى رَبِّي أَن يُؤْتِيَنِي خَيْرًا مِنْ جَنَّتِكَ. It is possible that my Lord, Rabbi, my Lord, and yu'tiyani would give me. The pronoun here is not the noon. The pronoun is a ya. But this ya is mahdhufa. This ya has been eliminated, but the noon remaining there indicates the existence of the ya mahdhufa. And this occurs a lot in Quran, by the way, that the ya of the mutakallim would be eliminated, for the first person speaker would be eliminated. For the first person would be eliminated. If you, it is possible that my Lord would give me better than your gardens. Jannatika, your gardens. وقوم نوح من قبل إنهم كانوا هم أظلم وأطغى. And the people of Nuh before, meaning Allah destroyed them, إنهم كانوا هم أظلم وأطغى. Indeed they, whom, كانوا, were, هم أظلم وأطغى, they were more oppressive and more transgressive. They wronged more people and transgressed more against the rules of Allah. And that's in Surah Al-Najm. قل أرأيتم إن كنت على بينة من ربي وآتاني رحمة من عنده فعميت عليكم أنلزمكموها وأنتم لها كارهون. This is in Surah Hud alayhi salam, and these are the words of Nuh alayhi salam addressing his people. He said to them, do you see, ara'aytum, you see, in kuntu, if I was. And the pronoun here is really ضمير مستتر تقديره أنا كنت أنا على بينة من ربي, on clear path or guidance from my Lord, Rabbi, my Lord, وآتاني, and he gave me, رحمة من عنده, mercy from himself, من عنده, from him, فعميت عليكم, and you are blinded to it, عليكم, you're blinded, عليكم, upon you. And we don't use this preposition when we translate. We say you are blinded, but in the Arabic language it says وَعُمِّيَتَ عَلَيْكُمْ, blinded from you. أَنُلْزِمُكُمُوهَا, this one is very interesting. أَنُلْزِمُكُمْ ha, this is what it was originally, but then we put that waw there to separate this one pronoun from the other. So these are two pronouns. Anulzimukum, would we force you? Ha, meaning to believe in it, in the guidance, the bayina. Anulzimukumuha, would we force you to believe? Wa antum laha karihun, while you, antum, laha, to it or for it, karihun, despise it. Yeah, no one is forced to believe something if they don't like it, if they don't want it. Faith is a choice, but the consequences are not a choice. وَإِن تَوَلَّوْا فَإِنَّمَا هُمْ فِي شِقَاقٍ فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. And if they turn away, فإنما هم في شقاق, then they have split it from the truth or the guidance. They have separated themselves. Hum, they. فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ. يَكْفِيكَ, Allah will suffice you, ka, that's you, that's Rasulullah. Hum, the disbelievers. Allah will take care of them for you. Allah will protect you from them. وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ, and He is the one who hears and knows. يقول الذين استضعفوا للذين استكبروا لولا أنتم لكنا مؤمنين. Those who were oppressed will say to those who were powerful, those who were arrogant, لولا أنتم, had it not be for you, لَكُنَّا مُؤْمِنِينَ, we would have been believers. So this is on the day of judgment, that those who were marginalized in society, those who were overpowered, those who were overwhelmed and misled by their leaders, by the powerful and in the influential in society, would try to pass the blame to them, and they would say to them, if it was not for you, we would have been believers. But of course, those people would defend themselves and say, we didn't force you, we just suggested to you and you guys followed us. We all are being punished. This is Surah Saba. لَوْلَا أَنْتُمْ you, لَكُنَّا we. So these are usage of pronouns in Quran. This is a very, very important subject matter to identify pronouns, but much more so to recognize that the pronouns are all ma'arifa. They're referring to specific things or individuals. Check this out. And you have to know maraji'ud dhamair. Yeah, the references for the pronouns is extremely important. In fact, there are many verses in Quran that if you cannot do proper references for the pronouns, you will necessarily misunderstand the verses.